Welcome to another episode of That's Some Crazy Shit with Kelly and James. Season opener, Season 3. What's up?
S3E1.
What's happening? My co-host, Mr. James.
Not much. Just hanging out, ready for our first episode.
I'm excited. It was nice to take some time off. We got some shit together. We got a website. Yay for us.
We got the webpage. All our episodes are on there. Go check them out. I'm going to start a blog.
Yeah, James is going to start a blog. We've got tons of guests coming up this season. We are going to be talking about some really crazy shit. I'm excited.
Can we tell them about the guests?
Nah, I think we should just wait.
All right, now the last time you said that, and then like 10 minutes later, you're like, oh yeah, we got this going on.
No, I'm going to wait. I'm not going to. Nope, we're going to wait. Right, nope. So, Mr. James, it's just me and you. Welcome back, brother, Season 3. Today, we are going to be covering what? What are we talking about?
We were talking about comics and how they're changing canon from comics to movies now, and we were talking about the villains, because everyone talks about the heroes, you know. And so we were talking about the villains, and I thought I would tell you about my top Marvel villains.
And then I can tell you what villains I like afterwards, but Marvel's got a lot of villains, and I don't even know all the villains. So I'm interested to see who you picked for the top 10. Or did you say top 10?
No, I just have 5.
Oh,
well,
top
I have
5.
4, and then I thought we would check another one out.
Okay, so let's go. Are we starting from 5 to 1?
No particular. Well, we could. All right, so let's say number 4, because we don't have a 5th one. Number 4, I like this villain when I first read the comic, like in the 70s, I think it was. And he has a movie coming out with Scarlett Johansson, Black Widow, Taskmaster.
Okay, so I am unfamiliar with Taskmaster. Taskmaster. Say that 4 times really fast. Anyway, what's his deal? So wait. Before you go into what his deal is he Black Widow's nemesis? Or is he a nemesis of the Avengers?
Well, initially, he came out in Spider-Man. So he was a Spider-Man character. And it's funny, because he only had one appearance until, very recently. Okay? But I always thought he was cool. His trait is he has... he can photographic reflexes. He can see someone perform a move, a fighting move, or a technique, and he can perfectly imitate it. He automatically knows how to pick up that fighting style.
So if he was fighting, say, somebody who was like a karate person, he could match their moves.
Right,
move
after... the initial, let's say, contact, and once he got so many blows in, he would be able to anticipate. He knows the style now. He could anticipate the next move. I mean, and I always thought that was a cool power.
So is that his only power?
No. He's actually kind of like Captain America in like a super soldier way.
So he's really strong.
Strong, fast. He has the natural ability to use weapons, I guess because of his heightened senses, maybe.
So he's this villain. He's fast. He's strong. He can like anticipate moves. You said that he originated from Spider-Man. So my question about villains is always like, what's his deal? Why is he a villain? Why does he not use his power for good?
Well, that's a good question. There's always, just like in heroes, there's always a tragic event that happens. Okay, so what happens, he was actually a part of S.H.I.E.L.D. at one time. And he wanted to be part of the super soldier program that created Captain America. But something went wrong, of course, like always. And then, so it turned his, I guess, drive into more of a psychotic type thing. So it kind of drove him crazy. And then in this backstory, when I was doing research, S.H.I.E.L.D. kind of screwed him over too. You know, I mean, people think of S.H.I.E.L.D. as being the quintessential hero outfit, you know. They've done some pretty shady things. So they were a part of him becoming a villain.
So he basically became a villain. But does it say like how he got his powers? Oh, you said that he was part of the super soldier program.
Right.
So was he injected with the same stuff that they injected into Captain America?
Yes.
And
it's funny because it never has the same effect.
And so what's his deal? Like, what's his costume? What's his thing?
Okay, see, now this is where I wish we were on video, because in the comic books he has a really cool outfit. Oh, I think it is, you know, for comic books. So he has a skull mask, all right, that he wears a cowl over and a cape, and he has his bodysuit, all right, and he has the pirate boots. Yes, I know it's a comic. I like the pirate boots. Okay, the gloves, weapons. He uses a bow. He can use it as well as Hawkeye, who's supposed to be the best archer in the Marvel Universe. He has a shield similar to Captain America that he uses the same way. You know, he can use it to block, parry, attack. He can throw it and through the different angles, bounce it off a wall, corner, hit someone, and it comes back to him, type of thing. Okay, and I always thought, because when you see these or the comic books, you know, all these villains, they all have henchmen, right?
Yeah, well, you gotta have your crew,
right? So I thought it was cool that Taskmaster trains people's henchmen.
Ah, so that's the dude that you go to get your crew up to speed,
right?
Ah, okay. That's
so
a good
that's part of what
good way to make money.
What's
gotta make a living. You gotta make a living.
Yeah, you know, you can't always be trying to, you know, to take the Avengers down or whatever. You gotta, you know, bring.
All right, so bacon. You said that Taskmaster is going to be in the new Black Widow movie, correct?
Yes, that's why I thought we'd talk about him. And
do you know who's playing him in the movie?
Excuse me. No, I don't. You know, I don't think anyone does at this point. I think they're trying to keep that on the down low.
Really?
As far as I can remember.
When's the movie coming out, James? You know?
It should be coming out. Well, see, with COVID, it kind of screwed everything up. And now I'm not even sure if they're going to release it to theaters. It might be a Disney Plus thing.
Huh. No, yeah, that's right. It is that's right. It is a Disney franchise now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's go to number 3. We got Taskmaster. I'm gonna get this right. Taskmaster coming in at number 4.
Yep.
Number 3.
All right. My number 3 is Dr. Doom. Victor Von Doom. He is the ruler of Latveria. All right. His mother was a gypsy. His father was a, you know, poor villager in this fictional country of Latveria. His mom is killed. Tragic event that triggers everything else. But unbeknownst to him, his mother had made a deal with the devil, her soul for his success. So this kind of starts the whole on his road to success as a super villain. Okay. He comes to America to go to college, and there he meets his arch enemy nemesis, Reed Richards from the Fantastic Four. With me?
I'm with you. I'm following you.
All right. So, Victor Von Doom's powers stem from science. He's a brilliant man. And the magic. He's also a comparable magician or magic user. People say not quite as good as Doctor Strange, but still very good. So, not only does he use science and technology, he uses the mystic arts.
So Dr. Doom is a badass.
Dr. Doom is a badass. And this is what always made me pissed off about the Fantastic Four movies when they came out. Because he was lame in the movies.
Well, wait. Wasn't Dr. Doom their villain in the very first Fantastic Four? Wasn't he the first one?
I believe so. And I don't know why in the comic books, he's bad, you know? He's like 6'7", he's all armored, you know? He has all these powers, mystic powers. No, he's a badass. And
does he only fight the Fantastic Four?
Oh no, he's fought all of them. Avengers, X-Men, he's always going with the heavyweights. The reason I picked him is, he's, like I said, he's a heavyweight. His thing is, world domination.
Does Dr. Doom have a crew?
Well, that's a good question. Dr. Doom would tell you he needs no crew, but yet he has robots that he uses sometimes.
Well, you can't be everywhere.
And that's what it is,
if you're a super villain, even though you could probably do it by yourself, James, you need help, right?
Well,
there's nothing wrong with having a little help.
Well, his thing I don't think so much would be, I need the help. It would be more, that is beneath me, so I'll have a robot take care of that.
And sometimes, some days, you're a super villain, you don't feel like doing those menial tasks. So, right, you send your robot. You're, kind of like your minions, right? So I wouldn't say he had a crew. Dr. Doom had minions. That's a very good distinction. He does. Right?
He does have
minions. He has minions. So Dr. Doom fights everybody. Okay, so if Dr. Doom is such a badass, the only villain that was in the Avengers, the badass villain was Thanos, which brings me to my next question. Is Thanos in the top 4?
You know what? I deliberately left him out because everyone knows about him and everyone has seen the movies. Okay. So everyone kind of knows about him.
But he's not the badass villain.
Oh, it depends on who you ask. Some people think he is, but I actually think there's one, if not two, I would consider stronger than him.
Okay. Dr. Doom's cool. Who else you got?
All right, so that brings us to the next one, Annihilus. Okay.
Annihilus is.
He is a alien life form, an insectoid. Okay. His story is, millions and millions of years ago, a race of technologically advanced humanoids decided they were going to try to seed the universe, okay, which is panspermia, which we could talk about on another episode, okay. So they go, they're seeding the sector, their ship crashes, but before it crashes into the sun, they release the spores on this planet, or didn't crash on, before it crashes on the planet, they release the spores and seeds it. Then one of the creatures, one of the insects that started from the seeding, found the ship, and in finding the ship, found a part. It's called his rod, and that is the cosmic rod is the what would I say it? Like Thor's hammer. It's kind of where his power stems from.
Okay.
Okay. So this cosmic rod gave him intelligence. Okay. So now you're thinking of this insectoid who's super intelligent. All right.
So wait a minute.
Now
is Annihilus a little insect?
Oh no, he's like 6 feet tall.
Okay.
200 pounds. I mean, he's just a big insect guy. Excuse me. So his whole thing is he wants domination. So he
don't they all want domination?
Oh yeah, And so he starts to take over planets in his. He's actually in another dimension that they call the negative zone. And so he starts to take over this dimension. Now, his thing is, so he takes over a planet and he has the ability to turn the citizens or the people, whoever of that planet, into his minions, insect warriors. So now I think he's so powerful because then you're just exponentially increasing your.
So all the worlds or planets that he conquers, those people become insectoid warriors.
For him, yes.
Kind of sounds like the Borg.
Yeah, but this was before the Borg.
Yeah, I got it. I'm just saying.
But still, that's the same. Yeah, same.
They assimilate. He assimilates them.
Right. So he's taken over the negative zone, and then he finds out that we exist because the Fantastic Four needed to get particles from that zone to help cure Sue Richards of cancer. So that's when he discovered our dimension, and it was like, yeah, I'll take that one over too. See, and the thing is, though, in the comic books, they portray him, he's cold, calculating, there's no emotion involved. It's all about conquest and power, and so that's why I thought he was cool. Eddie Brock, I believe.
Eddie Brock, yes. Eddie Brock was the one in the movie.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but Venom in his movie wasn't much of a villain. Although he did fight another Venom-like character who seemed to be more of the villain. But then, the movie seemed like they changed it because I remember Venom being a villain. Not like, I'm kind of a villain.
What happened in the comics books is he started out a villain. He was a crazy, crazy villain. One of Spider-Man's biggest, enemies. And then they killed him off, but he was so popular, they brought him back, and then they started making him into a hero. So he went from being this villain into a hero now.
All right. Another villain that I really like is Darkseid. Right?
Darkseid's bad.
Darkseid is from which comic? Isn't that Superman's nemesis?
Yeah.
Right? In the movies, isn't he the one that killed Superman? Was Darkseid in the Justice League
Apocalypse.
movie?
Or that was not Apocalypse.
Is this number one?
This would be number one. Okay. And this is Galactus. Okay. Galactus he was a member of a race that was around before the Big Bang. Okay. So then when the Big Bang happened, it took care of all of his other race and he was the only survivor.
Okay.
All right. So he's portrayed as this, and this is what I think is a trip with Galactus. He is this ultimate being, but yet he can portray himself as like 6 feet tall up to planet size. Okay, which I always thought was strange. Being a kid, I never could wrap my head around that. All right.
So he can go small or big.
Right. But he's omnipotent. He's billions of years old. Okay. And part of his thing is he's doomed to wander the universe, satiating his hunger. And he does this by eating planets, basically. Absorbing their power.
Well, man, wouldn't you run out of planets after a while?
Well, the universe is huge, my friend.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, he's out there every day gobbling up several planets a day. I'm just saying.
Not several planets a day.
Just one?
It'd be like maybe one planet. And you know what? That's a good, I don't know if there's a timetable. It doesn't say anything. That's a good.
You know, there's one and he's good for a little while,
yeah,
right?
I
or is
believe
it
so.
just like
and who knows?
constant?
With Galactus, it could be, 100 years, 20 years. Who knows? That's a good question because I don't.
And I would imagine that Galactus too wants he's eating up worlds, so he too wants domination. Can't help himself, type dude.
No, Galactus is neither. He's portrayed as neither being good nor bad.
He just is.
He just is. He's a force of nature.
So is that a villain?
Well, that's a good... And he's... Like I said, he does villainous things. I mean, he'll consume planets that are inhabited.
But is he doing it out of malice?
No.
He's doing it because that's what he does?
Yeah, he's just a force of nature, but
so
I
is he
put
a
him
villain?
on there because of just his sheer power. And heroes are always fighting him because they're always trying to protect him from Earth from one reason or another, or a different inhabited planet. What Galactus does, I thought was cool, is to help him find these planets, he creates heralds.
What are heralds?
Okay, so a herald is he grants these people the cosmic power, and that enables them to go out into the universe and find these planets for him.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
Minions?
I'm sorry?
Minions?
Heralds. Okay. Because, think, what does a herald do? They announce your presence, right? So these heralds go out, find a planet. Hey, Galactus is coming. You need to leave.
So they give people time to bail.
Theoretically.
Gotcha.
Some planets choose to fight. Some planets can't leave. And this is where some of them have a moral conflict. You've heard of the Silver Surfer, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, he was a herald.
He was a herald of Galactus.
So look at all of these are coming from the Fantastic Four.
See how that works? I think the Fantastic Four are kind of messed up.
All of these are... Well, you know what? The Fantastic Four franchise did not do well at all, now did it? And they put out, what? 3 movies? 2 that I know of for sure. The first one had Dr. Doom. The second one had the Silver Surfer.
And then they had a Galactus one.
Did they have a Galactus one?
Oh, no, that was Silver Surfer too. My bad.
So 2 movies, not very well received, not very good. But cool villains.
Oh, they have cool villains. They have the coolest villains, I think.
So I like comic books, but when I was a kid, as a girl, I read like Archie, Richie Rich, those types of cartoons, those types of comic books. But as I got older, I really like Batman. Anybody who knows me knows I'm a Batman fanatic. I love Batman. That's my favorite character. And so when I was looking at villains, we all know Joker, right? So we would stay away from him. You mentioned Dr. Doom. The one that I thought I wasn't really sure was a villain, but when I did my research, they have him listed as a villain, James, is Magneto. Is Magneto a villain? Because he's done some good in the movies.
Well, you got to think, though, too, when you think about Magneto's backstory, the dude he had a fucked up life. You know, he was like in the Auschwitz and shit like that. You know, he's had some trauma.
Yeah, so was he a villain?
Yeah, are you a villain? If he had a tragic life. So are you a villain?
You know, I question him being a villain, right? I also question just because of the movie Venom. Because in the movie Venom, for him to be in his own movie, he wasn't very villainly. Matter of fact, he saved the day. Can you be a villain and save the day?
Well, that's the thing too, and we were talking about how the movies are changing the canon from the comic books.
Yeah,
and
so
when Venom came out, all right, so it started out as Spider-Man goes to a planet where this omnipotent. Oh, we could add the Beyonder to that list. The Beyonder is this omnipotent being who decides to pit the villains against the heroes. He creates a planet, battle world. He puts them on this planet. They fight. It's a crazy series. It went over a year period. Okay. During one of the battles, Spider-Man's suit gets all messed up. He goes into this lab. This little blob falls down. He walks over it. It comes onto him. It becomes this new black and white outfit. That's Venom. Okay.
So Venom is Spider-Man?
Venom is a symbiote that started out as Spider-Man's suit, but it also helped enhance his powers back then. So whoever wears the Venom symbiote, or whoever the Venom symbiote chooses, get their, super strength, all that other stuff.
So in the movie, what was the dude's name that Venom took over?
Oh, Flash. See, now that's another thing. Flash Gordon was the one that took over eventually.
So, but I noticed in your top 4, no girl villains.
Hey, that's not my fault.
There are girl villains.
There are lots of girl villains, but the heavy hitters turned out to be guys. Well, Annihilus he's not really a human.
So name me some girl villains. I named Catwoman and Poison Ivy. Did Superman have any girl villains?
Doomsday.
Yeah, see, the only villains that I really know, James, are Batman villains, right? So, like Scarecrow, I always thought was a cool villain.
But it's funny because Batman has more cerebral villains.
You think?
Well, think about it, Like you just said Scarecrow. Isn't he a doctor of psychology or something?
Yeah, he's a doctor.
You think of the Riddler. You know? Even Joker. He may be fucking crazy, but he's pretty cerebral about it.
Ra's al Ghul.
See? He doesn't even... he's immortal, but he doesn't have like super strength, or... Look at all Superman's villains, they're all kind of muscleheads except for Lex Luthor.
Well, they're all from other planets because he can't... His nemesis on... Superman's true only nemesis on Earth was Lex Luthor. All his other people that could kill him or do damage came from someplace else.
Well, they'd have to, yeah.
All of Batman's nemesis were human, as in really no powers. Like him, right?
Solomon Grundy.
Okay, he's really the only one. They even say Catwoman's a villain. Was she a villain? Or was she just a thief? She didn't want domination, did she?
Of Batman.
But
they had a thing going, though.
They did, but I'm just saying, not really a villain in that aspect. But when I was looking under list of villains, they listed Catwoman as a villain. and even like Poison Ivy. You know, again, was she a villain or did she just want the plants to live?
You know, none I can think of, but there are girl villains like Cheetah, and there's Pink Sapphire from Green Lantern. Who else? You know, I can't.
So this is what I found. These are the best female supervillains of all time.
All right,
Tell me if you agree or not. Okay, we're gonna just rate 8 of them. Catwoman coming in at number 1. Dark Phoenix. So Dark
Phoenix could have been cool, but she got old quick.
Did she?
I thought so.
Well, in the movie, I guess she kind of was a villain, but it kind of like wasn't her fault type deal. She couldn't help herself.
And that's kind of the way it was in the comics too, though.
All that power, just, you know, she couldn't help herself. Mystique coming in at number 3.
I like Mystique.
Is she a villain?
I mean, you gotta think she's a shapeshifter. You know, how could
Is she a villain? Is Mystique a villain?
Oh,
was she a villain in the comics?
Yes.
Was she?
Well, that's the thing. They portray her sometimes as a villain and sometimes as a victim of circumstance.
Number 4, Harley Quinn.
I think Harley Quinn's just fucking crazy.
Well, but Harley Quinn at least was stealing, and to me, she didn't want to do good or help people. She was robbing and stealing, and she was crazy. So yeah, she was a villain to me, right?
She was sane at one time, though.
Yeah, she was. Granny Goodness. Never heard of that.
Now that's a Superman villain. She is one of Apocalypse's generals.
Granny Goodness?
Granny Goodness. She's bad, man. She has these 3, I guess you'd call them wards, because she has an orphanage?
An orphanage.
On Apocalypse. You know, where they just torture these kids and turn them into these super villains. And so she has like these 3. Well, I know one's really strong, and one was kind of like maybe like a Wolverine type character. I don't remember the other one. Yeah, Granny Goodness.
Number 6, Viper.
You know, I don't think I'm familiar with her.
She's a Marvel. She's a Marvel character. Viper.
Huh. What's her deal?
Number 7. I'll look it up. I don't know. I'm just reading the list. Number 7, Enchantress.
Enchantress. Marvel.
Yes.
No, excuse me.
Yeah, no, you're
Is
right.
that Marvel?
That's Marvel.
Because I get her confused with... Because sometimes Loki will appear to be like a woman, like an enchantress. And Enchantress, she's like a seductress. She has... What's his name as her henchman? Who was the guy on Thor? Carl Urban played.
Yeah.
Scourge.
That was her companion, yes.
Yeah. That was like her...
The executioner.
Yeah.
And they said that she hasn't made it to the movies yet, but her sister, Lorelei, was in an episode of the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So she is a Avengers villain, and she is a Asgardian sorceress. She's one of Thor's oldest and most powerful foes.
Because she's always like putting enchantments on Thor.
Now Viper is also from the Marvel universe. They say that she's evil. They also call her Madam Hydra. So she's one of the terrorists from the Hydra organization.
Gotcha. I know what she
Captain
looks like.
America. Captain America is her deal.
She's
right?
got dark hair.
Yeah. We said, Granny Goodness, Harley Quinn, and then I believe the number 8 was Star Sapphire.
Star Sapphire, that's what I was thinking. That's Green Lanterns.
And then Cheetah was coming in at number 9.
You said Cheetah was lame in Wonder Woman movie.
You know what? Cheetah was lame in Wonder Woman because by the time she became Cheetah, the movie was over. So, I mean, if Cheetah was a villain, she didn't really have a chance to, like, fully be like a villain because she wasn't the main character or the main nemesis, I would say, in the movie, right? Instead, there was this other dude that would grant people wishes, and I don't know what his deal was because I've never heard of that villain before. You know, and I don't know enough about Wonder Woman to know who all of her nemesis were, but Cheetah became Cheetah in the movie, and sorry, spoiler alert if you haven't seen Wonder Woman 1984. But I know in the comic books, Cheetah became Cheetah by taking something, right? Ingesting something, a serum, something. In the Wonder Woman movie, she became Cheetah by wishing she was more like Diana Prince. And in wishing that, she got all of Diana Prince's strength, right? And then she wished to be an apex predator, and at that point, she turned into the cheetah. So she didn't turn into a cheetah right away. She just got strong, right?
So it was like a gradual changing.
And then when her and the Wish dude, like, hooked up, right? And he's like, well, what do you want? She's like, well, I want to be like the apex predator. And with that, her body transformed into a cheetah. But not good. Not good at all. So anyway, that was my thing on comic books. You know, James, comic books are crazy because people really get into them and they generate a ton of money.
Oh yeah, they do. You know, I mean, I used to collect pretty heavily when I was younger. And some of those issues, you know, depending on when you buy them, you know, you buy it. Well, back then they were 35 cents. I remember on the cover, it said still 35 cents. And then they went up to 45 cents. It was like, still 45 cents. They're like $6 now. But you buy one of those comic books at 35 cents when you're a 10-year-old, you know, and if you get lucky and you hang on to it, shit, you know. How much is some of those old, you know, Superman, you know, $1 million, you know?
The thing that I don't like about some of the comic book movies is that the storyline and the plot is already written for you. And I would think that people that are into comics are thrilled when they are anticipating you bringing the comic to life, right? And I don't think that they want you to change the anthology.
No, and that's where I have a hard time with Marvel because, like we talked about, you know, they're changing. Okay, so now that they're having the success of the Marvel cinema universe, they're using that to change the canon from the comic books. You know, like in the movie, Ultron was made by Tony Stark and Bruce Banner. Well, in the comic book, it was made by Hank Pym, who was Ant-Man. See, and so that's changed. You know, and we had talked about this before. It's like, you're right, you know, some of these stories are classic stories, you know, and all you really have to do is, like you said, just kind of bring it out.
Yeah, just kind of bring it out. You might need to tweak it a little bit because it's a comic book, but it's already, like, Wonder Woman, I feel like her encounters with Cheetah, there was enough comic books for them to pull one of those storylines out
easily
and make Cheetah a cool character. And then even at the end of Wonder Woman, because everybody had to give back their wishes, spoiler alert, then even at the end of the movie, she was no longer Cheetah. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, will you see Cheetah again if there's another Wonder Woman movie? I don't know, because it could have been a reoccurring character, right? Is what I'm saying. She could have been a character, a nemesis for Wonder Woman in future movies. I felt like they didn't give Cheetah the platform that the character deserved as being a female villain. And there's not a lot of female villains out there on film in the comic book world.
Well, it's funny because we were just talking about a lot of the heavyweights, they're not females.
Yeah, so, it was just, I was hoping for more. I was very, very disappointed, but that is, neither here nor there. Anyway, I thought since this is our first episode and we haven't done it in so long, James, that we would go into random bullshit.
All right, what you got?
All right. So, for random bullshit, I thought I would tell you the 14 unhealthiest junk foods in America. And tell me how many of these you eat and enjoy. Okay, you ready?
Oh, sorry.
Let me say it first.
Okay.
Number 1 on the list, Pop-Tarts.
I used to when I was a kid.
Pop-Tarts are incredibly bad for you. They have high processed ingredients. They are not good for you at all. They have a lot of sugar in them.
Yeah, they do.
They say that because they have so much high fructose corn syrup, that large amounts of fructose has been linked to several diseases, including diabetes and heart disease. So Pop-Tarts, no bueno. All right? Number 2, and I think these are so delicious, Arby's curly fries.
Yeah.
Aren't they delicious?
I don't eat them much, but I do like curly fries.
So, guess how much a large order of curly fries, how many calories are in that large order of curly fries?
750.
Ooh, you are close. 650.
Oh, damn.
In that one container. So, yeah, not good. Arby curly fries?
Yes. Tasty.
No bueno. Tasty, but no bueno.
Okay.
All right. Number 3, Popeye's chicken tenders. You a fan of Popeyes?
I go there on occasion, but I'm not a fan.
So, their 3-piece chicken tender contains 340 calories. They say it is not good for you, just because of the amount of trans fats that are in it.
Oh, yeah.
And trans fats have been linked to inflammation, heart disease, obesity. So, yeah, not good. Popeye's chicken tenders, no. All right, number 4, Cinnabon caramel pecan bun. Do you like Cinnabon?
Nah, I'm not a real big sweet guy.
So I like a good cinnamon roll, but that one doesn't look good to me at all. It's got caramel, it's got the frosting.
I don't like
got caramel on top of it, and it's also got like nuts on top of it. So it's got a classic cinnamon roll at Cinnabon is 880 calories.
Wow. So you could
caramel,
have a thing of fries and a Cinnabon, and you still got like 800 calories left for the day.
Right. So, but the caramel pecan bun has over 1,000 calories, James. Just one of them.
That's
over
half your calorie
calories.
intake right there.
1,000 calories. One caramel pecan bun. Not good for you. 146 grams of carbs.
100 and how much?
146 total 146 grams of carbs.
See, now if I'm not mistaken, I think you're supposed to have like less than 40 a meal.
Yeah. 51 grams of fat in one caramel bun from Cinnabon. So, no bueno. Number 5, if you love Starbucks, which I do not, but if you do, Number 5 is Starbucks White Chocolate Mocha Frappuccino.
Well, it sounds good.
Sounds great. It's 250 calories. Oh, actually, I'm wrong. I'm sorry. It packs 520 calories.
So you hit that with the Cinnabon.
Yeah.
You're good for the day.
You're good for the day. 65 grams of carbs.
65 grams of goddamn.
64 of which come from sugar.
Ooh.
Not good. So Starbucks Frappuccino? No. All right, number 6. If you've ever been to Outhouse, you've probably had the Bloomin' Onion. Have you ever had a Bloomin' Onion? Did I say Outhouse?
Yes. I was like, what are you talking about, Outhouse?
I mean Outback. Outback Steakhouse. If you've ever been to Outback, they have the Bloomin' Onion.
Yeah.
Guess how many calories are in the Bloomin' Onion?
1,275.
1,954 calories. 122 grams of carbs.
Oh,
it contains 154 grams of fat.
Ooh.
And it's meant to be shared between 2 people.
No, it's not.
When they cook it, yes, it is.
Mine,
yes, it
man.
is.
And bring me extra fry sauce.
I'm not a fan of onion like that, so okay. Number 7, Burger King Oreo shake. Have you had one?
I'm not an Oreo fan.
So I don't go to Burger King.
Yeah.
But the Oreo shake comes in at 730 calories. It contains 121 grams of carbs, 100 from sugar alone.
Ooh.
Burger King Oreo shake? No bueno. Number 8, just corn dogs. If you like corn dogs, you need to stop eating them. Corn dogs contain 330 calories. Just one. So they're not good for you. Plus, they're deep fried. They're processed as well. So not good. Sometimes corn dogs are good, but I have to be in the mood for a corn dog. I'm not a fan
for a good corn dog too.
I'm not a fan for a corn dog.
With mustard. It has to have mustard. No ketchup. Maybe.
Yeah, I'm just not a fan. Number 9, Dunkin' Glazed Jelly Stick. Have you ever had a Dunkin' Donuts glazed jelly stick?
I have not.
Well, they say that it's a donut at Dunkin' Donuts. It's a
glazed jelly stick.
It's a glazed jelly stick, I can imagine. And it's 480 calories. 59 grams of carbs, 25 grams of fat. So, Number 10. Dairy Queen Royal Reese Brownie Blizzard. And that sounds delicious. Because this probably got like Reese's peanut butter in it. It probably has chocolate in it. And guess how many calories are in it?
4.
1,510.
Oh, I was close.
That's your day. That's your 1,500 calorie intake for the day. One Blizzard, you're not eating nothing else. That's it. Just the Blizzard. Man, that's a lot of calories.
Now, is that like in a large or a regular?
They didn't say. Oh, it's a large. It's a large. It is a large. So if you take the small one, you might be able to cut the calorie count in half. You're still looking at 750 calories.
You know me. I'm no Mr. Health Food Run Miles guy, but some of that stuff is kind of scary to hear.
Number 11. Sugar sweetened soda. So if you drink soda, it is 11 on the list and it is bad for you. You should not drink soda. Average, a 16-ounce bottle of soda has 200 calories, 52 grams of sugar.
I try not to drink soda anymore.
You know what? I don't drink soda at all, really.
Yeah, once in a while.
I like a good ginger ale, but I don't drink soda. Number 12, and I've never had this, the KFC Famous Bowl. Have you had the Famous Bowl? The Famous Bowl contains deep fried chicken, mashed potatoes, corn, gravy, and cheese. And it's all in a bowl. And it's like they've added it to their menu. And it's 710 calories. 83 grams of carbs.
Sounds delicious.
You know, I'm not a fan of KFC. If I'm hungry enough,
well, I'm not saying KFC particular, but if you made your own.
Yeah, if you made your own, it'd be good. Number 13, another place I don't eat is McDonald's, but this is McDonald's triple thick milkshake.
Oh, well, in all honesty, I haven't had a McDonald's milkshake in decades. But I remember it was like pink water.
Well, nowadays, a large triple thick milkshake is 1,100 calories. You would find 1,100 calories in 2 Big Macs. So one Big Mac is like 600 calories. What, 575? One Big Mac.
I remember when I was in high school, we used to go with this guy to a gym and work out. And then after we'd go work out, this is how young kids think. We'd go work out, play basketball, or whatever, and then we'd go to McDonald's to eat. And so, we'd go and get a Big Mac. He'd get 2 Big Macs, 2 large fries, and a large Diet Coke.
Yeah.
And you're like,
everything
dude,
I just told you not to eat.
Yeah, it's like, dude, you're getting 2 Big Macs and 2 fries. The Diet Coke isn't going to help much.
Right? Might as well, Number 14. This looks delicious. Cold Stone Mud Pie Mojo.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Yes. And I'll tell you what it is, because it sounds great. All right. So, it is made with coffee ice cream, Oreo cookies, peanut butter, almonds, and chocolate fudge. A large serving of that is 1,240 calories, 80 grams of fat, 123 grams of carbs, and 105 of those grams, which are sugar.
Yeah. It sounds good, but then you start saying all those numbers and you're like, yeah.
Right? That is the 14 junk foods. Unhealthiest junk foods in America.
Well, I'm surprised that I don't eat more, to be honest.
Well, those are just the top 14. There's probably, if you eat fast food, that you could probably label that under junk food.
Oh, yeah.
If you do a lot of fast food.
I eat more than I should.
And we want you to be around, so I just thought I would see how many of those things on the list you ate. And now you know.
Not as many as I thought, so.
Well, James, it has been a pleasure. We are at the end of our time together. It's always a pleasure. I'm so excited for our upcoming episodes. I'm so excited that we're on season 3. It's just exciting to be here.
And what? When we had this time off, Calvin, we were talking to guests and doing scheduling and stuff. It is exciting.
And I'm grateful to anyone who listens to us, as we try to increase our listenership and get more, guests on, and we can, want to broaden our horizons on what we deem crazy shit. And I will say that we've interviewed every guest that's coming on, and let me tell you something. Some crazy shit. There's some crazy shit in the world.
It really is.
We have met some interesting people, and I cannot wait to start bringing these people onto our podcast.
Yeah, some of them are going to be really funny. Some are going to make you scratch your head, and kind of look, and some might just blow your mind.
But all of them will make you say,
"That's some crazy shit."
Yeah, that's some crazy shit. Well, James, until next time. Wait, before I forget, our website. So you can listen to past episodes. You can learn a little bit about me and James.
Look, have we even told them about our website? This is our first episode.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's our first episode. So
okay, well, make sure you tell them about it because it's crazy.
So we have a website. It's www.somecrazyshitpodcast.com. If you go to the website, you can learn a little bit about James and myself. James is going to be starting a blog very soon, and you can listen to past episodes, and that's another way that you can contact us if you're interested in being on the show because you have some crazy shit. Also, all of our social media links are there as well. So now one website, www.somecrazyshitpodcast.com. James's email, if you want to reach out to him, is james@thatsomecrazyshitpodcast.com, and my email is kelly@thatsomecrazyshitpodcast.com. There you go.
So reach out, go check out the website, you guys. It's cool. We did a good job.
It's cool, and know that James is starting a blog, so that will be cool as well. Until next time, my friend.
Keep your minds open, people.